Hi, I'm Laylee, and I'm a member of the PeaceCasters. We recently participated in a festival called the Festival of Faiths. It's about the different faiths in the world. This interfaith festival has been recognized by the Parliament of the World's Religions in the U.S. Senate for its ability to build bridges that connect our world's different environments in which people of faith come together to build a safer, more beautiful environment.
Hi, my name is Sydney Locke. I had the chance to listen to some of the 13 Indigenous grandmothers at the Festival of Faiths. It was very cool and a great learning experience to hear them speak. The amazing part about the grandmothers is that they put their life experience and wisdom into their work of peace. While you are watching this interview, think about your own grandmothers and the wisdom they might have to share with you.
My name is Agnes Baker Pilgrim. I'm in the Henry Clay building this morning with the students of the PeaceCasters, and I feel very honored to be here today. We follow the water to this day as we are adults and children. Without water, we could not live on this planet. It's a very special element. Drinking water is just not quenching thirst. It's blessing and lubricating throughout your whole system because water is crucial to all life. It is the young people that own the world. It is not the adults. And so we want, as elders, and as these 13 international grandmothers, we circle the world to tell people, you know, how crucial water is. In many places they are drying up. And then I have been talking for many years that water can heal. That has been validated now by our Japanese scientist, Emerson Emoto, that water can heal. So we need to learn to talk to the water and tell it how sacred it is. Without it, we would perish. And so it's a job and a responsibility. I always say the ancient ones of this land left us with their unfinished job. And that unfinished job concerns the water. So we're all connected by water. Water is a concern of all life. Even a little blade of grass cannot live without water.
We call the water our mother, or mother water, or grandmother water. And we believe that she has great power. The water is the basic foundation of life, the first foundation of life, because that's where we lived before we came into this world.
Our first stage of life was in the water. And I think first stage of life began with water.
We all born, grow in water, in our mothers. Our first world. As 13 grandmothers, what we're working in now is for peace. We give a little gift of that, and you are responsible to spread it.
Hi, I'm Daniel Siegel, and I'm introducing the story about Tori, Murden, McClure. And she talks about her stories and how she conquered great feats like rowing by herself across the Atlantic and climbing mountains. And we asked her why she did all this, and she said that she got inspiration from her brother who has a disability.
Well, you know, water in the various world religions has usually two purposes. It's either used for cleansing before worship, or it's used to sustain life itself. And holy water exists in virtually every tradition in world religions. In the United States, particularly in the eastern United States, we tend to take water for granted because we have municipal water departments that can produce clean water for us very inexpensively. So we tend to waste it and treat it without the respect it is due. There are parts of the world, there are almost 1 billion people who don't have easy access to clean water. And that can cause all kinds of trouble in the world. And it's also a justice issue of peace and justice, and you know, why should we have everything and why should we not share and make sure others have enough? And you know, that's what is good about PeaceCasters is you can look a little deeper and you can ask harder questions. I think it's really neat what you guys are doing. Anyway, I grew up like any other American, and I had, kids can be mean to one another, and bad things can happen to you as you grow up. And I grew up with a brother who's intellectually disabled, developmentally disabled. He's mentally retarded, and he got bad things happen to him, and I couldn't always, as his little sister, protect him, and that really made me unhappy. And so as I grew up, I wanted to be bigger and stronger, like physically stronger, so that I could fight back. I wanted to be intellectually stronger so I could outsmart the bad guys. And I wanted to be spiritually stronger. That's not as easy to develop as, just putting my mind to it and making that happen. And so I had in my mind that if I just got more education, or if I just made myself stronger, that I could always protect the people who needed my protection. That wasn't always true. And ultimately I was trying, by rowing across the Atlantic and skiing to the South Pole, I was trying to prove that I was competent, trying to prove that I am not helpless. And it's a silly thing, because human beings are by definition limited. But you see whales and dolphins and you see jellyfish and sea turtles. Sea turtles would come and visit. Sometimes they're the size of coffee tables. And they'd come and they'd hang around for a while, and then they'd pass me. Do you know how demoralizing it is to get passed by a turtle? And I'm rowing and I'm rowing and I'm rowing because I don't want to lose to a turtle, and I'm rowing and I'm rowing, and they just leave me behind. Of course, they can swim really fast.
My name is Amari, and I got to spend some time with Miss Sobonfu Some from West Africa. I went to her workshop November 9th. Miss Some talked about her tribe and the importance of water in her tribe. There were many different people there, all ages and ethnicities. It was a very unique experience. Here's an interview that we did with Miss Some. I think you will enjoy it.
Water everywhere is about peace. For instance, if you go to my village, before people even ask you how you are doing, the first thing they will bring you is water, because it represents peace. It also symbolizes reconciliation, and it's also about purity and purifying the soul. And so those things are very critical in my tradition. Sometimes we don't have water for days, and we have to spend, night at the well waiting, when the water table comes up, then you have to quickly get the water. So water, are you kidding? It's sacred for me. The first time I came to America in Michigan and I turned on a faucet and water came, oh my God, I thought I had died and gone to heaven. And I thought, maybe that was a trick. So I woke up in the middle of the night to go turn on the faucet to make sure this is really real. And then I sent a long note back to my people saying, there's magic here. And it's water. And they thought, oh God, Sobonfu, please quit telling stories. And it took me a long time to convince them that this is actually real. Because even in the cities, when they have faucet, there's no guarantees that when you turn the faucet on, the water is going to come out. You might not have water for days. And so people have a tendency to really treat water really well. Wherever you are in the world, never take water for granted, because there are millions of people who do not have it. And even if they do, it's sometimes from the creek bed, and they get very sick from it. So whenever you're brushing your teeth, whenever you're using water, please be very mindful of it. Do not waste water, because there is not an unlimited resource of it. We don't have much water, and without water, no one can be alive. Water is life, and we depend on it. Young people, children in general, are the past, the present, and the future. Without you all, we cannot really have a future. No country, no continent can ever survive without their children. And so you bring fresh gifts to this world. You are bringing that unique thing that's going to change the shape of our world. And so we depend on you to bring those gifts. We are here to support you, to usher those gifts within you so you can let it shine in the world. And so do not think for a second that you don't have something to offer, because you do. And when you bring it out, the world is going to be a better place. So keep that spirit alive.
Thank you very much.
From all the PeaceCasters, thank you for watching us, and I hope you haven't drowned into all that information.